In the world of photography, there are echoes and there are roars. Most of the time, we live on echoes. We hear whispers on forums, see blurry patent filings, or catch a tiny rumor about a minor firmware update. It's noise. It's the background chatter of an industry that never sleeps. But then, every few years, a different kind of sound emerges. It starts quietly, but it doesn't fade. It builds. It's a sound that makes the entire industry stop and listen. That sound, right now, is carrying just two words: Nikon Z9 II. When a company like Nikon moves, the entire world of imaging holds its breath. This isn't just any brand. This is a name that has been etched into the history of photography for over a century. So when the whispers start to align, when insiders drop quiet messages that spread like wildfire, and when the name Z9 II is spoken, the tone changes. This is no longer just a rumor. This is the first sign of an earthquake. It's the warning shot that something big is about to shake the very foundations of the mirrorless world all over again. To understand why this name matters so much, you have to understand the history that walks into the room with it. For over 100 years, Nikon has been building more than just cameras. They have been building tools that define moments. They have built the machines that storytellers, journalists, and artists have trusted with their careers, and sometimes with their lives. Think about the Nikon F. In the analog age, it was a standard. It was a mechanical marvel, a brick of reliability that changed how conflicts were documented. It was the camera that reporters carried into the heart of history, and it never let them down. Then, jump forward to the digital era. Remember the Nikon D3? It wasn't just a new camera. It was a revolution in a black box. It redefined low-light photography. It was the low-light king that gave professionals the ability to capture clean, usable images in near darkness. It opened up entirely new worlds for wedding photographers, sports shooters, and photojournalists. But then, the mirrorless era arrived, and for a moment, Nikon seemed to falter. The competition moved fast, and Nikon felt cautious, almost late to the party. Their first mirrorless cameras were good, but they didn't dominate. The autofocus, while decent, was always a step behind the competition. The critics grew loud. Had the giant finally gone to sleep? And then the original Z9 arrived. It wasn't just an answer, it was a statement. It was Nikon proving to the world that it could reinvent itself. The Z9 was a masterpiece of engineering. But it wasn't just about the specs. It was about a single audacious decision. Nikon removed the mechanical shutter entirely. This wasn't just a technical upgrade. It was a philosophical declaration. Nikon was saying, we trust our new sensor and our new processor so completely that we are leaving the past behind. They bet the entire company's professional reputation on this one move. And they were right. The Z9 was a triumph. A 45.7 megapixel stacked sensor, incredible 8K video capabilities, blistering speed, and a new level of autofocus that finally put Nikon back in the conversation. It was a rugged, reliable, professional dream machine. It was the camera that proved the old Nikon DNA, the DNA of the F, the DNA of the D3, was still pulsing strong. The Z9 became the camera of choice for professionals at the biggest sporting events and in the harshest wildlife environments. It silenced the critics and re-established Nikon at the top. But time never stops. Technology never rests. The original Z9 set a new bar, but the horizon looks different now. The competition has never been tougher, never been faster, and never been more capable. The camera market today is a brutal war fought over milliseconds, megabytes, and artificial intelligence. Sony, the company that arguably started the high-end mirrorless revolution, keeps pushing innovation at a relentless pace. Their A1 is a technological marvel, and their AI-driven autofocus, honed over generations, is still seen by many as the benchmark. They innovate faster than anyone. Canon, the other legacy giant, has fully hit its stride. With cameras like the R3 and R5 and a new lineup of optically stunning RF lenses, they have refined their entire ecosystem. Canon's dual-pixel autofocus is legendarily smooth and reliable. They're a powerhouse. And it's not just the big two. Panasonic has emerged as a true hybrid magic maker. With their new cameras, they have embraced phase detect autofocus, eliminating their one major weakness, and are now a top choice for serious filmmakers. Fujifilm continues to carve out its own path, offering unique color science and the incredible power of medium format in their GFX line, while their H2S competes directly in the high-speed flagship space. This is the world the Z9 II is being born into. This is the pressure it faces. Because of this intense competition, Nikon's next move cannot be just good. It can't be an incremental update. A simple Z9S with a bit more buffer or a slightly cleaner ISO just won't be enough. Nikon's next move has to be defining. It has to be another leap. That is where the promise of the Nikon Z9 II comes in. The name alone feels powerful. It feels sharp. It feels commanding. It implies a true successor, a new generation. But what might lie behind that name is even more dramatic. The leaks and the earliest whispers are not just pointing to upgraded specifications. They are suggesting that Nikon is fundamentally rewriting how a flagship camera behaves. We are hearing about a new kind of intelligence, a new level of processing that doesn't just capture a scene, but understands it. The rumors suggest a jump in performance so significant that it could redefine expectations all over again, just like the original Z9 did when it killed the shutter. We're talking about a camera that could change the very nature of a professional's workflow. Let's pause on that idea for a second. The Z9's bold move was to remove a moving part. It was a philosophical shift towards solid-state technology. It was a bet on speed and reliability. Now, the Z9 II appears to be making its bet on something new: intelligence. The Z9 was a dream machine for professionals, but it was still a tool that had to be expertly wielded. The Z9 II promises to be something more: a partner, a camera that anticipates, predicts, and assists in ways that were previously science fiction. The original Z9 proved Nikon was still a master of hardware. The Z9 II might be Nikon's attempt to prove it will be the master of software and AI. And as we move into the next decade of imaging, the camera that thinks fastest, not just the one that shoots fastest, may be the one that ultimately wins.